They say that there's no such thing as a stupid question. And as much as I would love for that to be true, there's one in particular that just really grinds my gears. Aren't you, like, supposed to be smart? I hate this question. For being one of the only Indian kids that goes to my school, I feel like there's a lot of false assumptions made about me. No, I can't do your homework. I barely understand my own. No, my family does not own a 7-Eleven, although I could use a free Slurpee. And no, I have never won a spelling bee. Those are B-O-R-I-N-G. Boring. For so long, Indians have been seen to have designated roles, personalities, and jobs within a society. This isn't just a problem at my school, but within our global culture. Identifying the harm that stereotypes have on the Indian community is the first step to breaking them down and to end the unrealistic expectations that we are held to. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the myth of the model minority, how it came to be, the effects it's had throughout generations, and how it is changing today. This is the remodeled minority. Stereotypes about Indians began ever since they first started coming to this country. The media had previously failed to represent us in an accurate light. Most people's perceptions of us were we smelled bad, we ate monkey brains like they did in Indiana Jones, and sure, we had iconic freedom fighter Gandhi, but to everybody else, he was just some dude who walked around in diapers. Even though we weren't all snake charmers, we had our own hidden superpower. Our brains. Legislation in the 60s and 70s is what really jump-started the arrival of Indians to this country. According to immigrationtounitedstates.org, the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 lifted the national origin quota system and issued visas on the basis of preferred skills. Those with technology skills, advanced degrees, and exceptional professional talents were given preference. Selective immigration had a huge impact on how Indians were introduced to America and how America was introduced to Indians, like my grandfather. When my grandpa packed his bags for America, he carried a heavy weight in his hands. Along with the shoes and the shirts that he packed in his suitcase, he carried the burden of excelling in the skills that he was brought here to do and to defy what anyone has ever thought about his people before. Everyone back at home had invested their hopes and dreams into my grandfather because he was doing something that nobody else they knew had ever done. He was coming to America with the hopes and dreams of being a successful engineer. And yet, his first job here was as a dishwasher at a diner. He couldn't fathom telling his family back at home out of fear of being shamed and seen as a disappointment. He had to be successful the moment he stepped into this country. Nobody could know he was a dishwasher. Indians don't do that. For him, coming to America was like us if we went to Mars. In this entirely new world, we must assert ourselves and adapt any way that we can. My grandfather saw how America treated immigrants and those who differed from the norm. From Jim Crow laws to the KKK and now ICE raids, we have all seen what happens to aliens in this country. The way my grandfather saw it, if he could reach a socioeconomic level equal to or above everybody else, maybe, just maybe, he'd be able to avoid discrimination. People may say that we wear tablecloths or spy on this country to the red dots on our forehead, but at least we can outsmart them. This mentality to surpass others while being somebody that others expect us to be is what drove so many Indians to climb to the top of the systems that they were placed in. Now, to work harder, be better, and hold a high position for everybody else to look up to became the only way to live for Indians. After all, if you can't join them, beat them. And so, this created lasting effects for future generations. Suddenly there were these strict but unwritten rules of you have to. You have to be a doctor. You have to be an engineer. You have to get an A+ on all your exams at school, or you'll have to walk home. You have to keep your job as a programmer while that inner ballerina tries to dance its way out, because you'll never be seen as anything else. And if you want to be at the top, if you want to make your family proud, you never can be anything else. I mean, sure, it's great for your people to be seen as the best, but at what cost? If the bar is set so high for Indians by previous generations, it instills a sense of failure in the younger ones. Researchers from pewresearch.org conducted a study analyzing the prevalence of the model minority stereotype within the lives of Asian Americans. Of the Indians questioned, 72% agreed that they've been stereotyped in the US in their day-to-day lives by strangers. This includes being seen as automatically good at math or science, or not being creative thinkers. These generalizations is what constantly pressures Indians to be perfect in the eyes of others. Both high expectations from surrounding people as well as paternal pressures have been shown to increase insecurity within the Indian population. One respondent shared his experience, stating, "You have to be polished. There's no room for imperfection. There's no room for failure. You have to be well-educated, well-spoken, have the right opinions, be good-looking, be funny, be smart, be tall. There's no room for freedom and identity other than the mold that you've been painted as a model citizen." The fear of being looked down upon may be what pushes so many Indians to strive for the top, but it's also what causes them to lose themselves in the process. So, where do I come in? As you all have noticed, I sure do look like a model. But I don't really know what it means to be a model minority. I mean, yes, I am Indian, but I've grown up in an environment where I felt equal, unburdened, and free. I mean, last semester, I came home with a B in physics, and I didn't get grounded. I'm #blessed. We've moved so far as a community to push past being seen as the old cliche Indian. Now you have Hasan Minhaj, a comedian, Mindy Kaling, an actress, and the pinnacle of it all, Priyanka Chopra in a bikini running across the beach in Baywatch. But there's still much more work to be done. Generational expectations and pressures still linger within the Indian community today. Even though we still carry that baggage of burden to be something great and to make our families proud, it is up to us to unpack that and to redefine what success looks like. I know firsthand that creating and engaging in environments where people are free to be themselves helps alleviate and heal those deep cultural wounds. Doing this creates a world driven by individualism and passion, one where imperfection is okay. In this world, we can reinvent what it means to be Indian, retaliate against societal pressures, and remodel the model minority. Thank you.